2020 has been rough. But just when you thought the whole year would be canceled, the NFL has kicked our spirits back into high gear. You're looking at the brand new state-of-the-art SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. The first indoor-outdoor NFL venue ever constructed, and home to the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I'm a Rams fan, but this season, my other eye will be watching the Los Angeles Chargers and their star in the making, running back number 30, Austin Ekeler. I gotta say, for most people, 2020 sucked, but for you, my friend, I think 2020 hasn't been too bad.
It's been up and down. You know, it's like the highs have been really high, but the lows have also been really low this year.
Yeah.
So.
Earlier this year, Austin Ekeler signed a 4-year contract extension to the tune of $24.5 million as starting running back for the LA Chargers. March 16th, 2020, a day that for you changed your entire life.
Is that the day I signed?
That's the day you signed,
That's
yep.
the day I signed. So, I mean, I would say it changed my entire life, definitely financially, absolutely. I did buy my mom a truck for Christmas, so it's been great.
Up until that day, Ekeler was on special teams for the Chargers as an undrafted free agent, making just under $2 million over the last 3 years. So 2017, you weren't necessarily even on the special teams, you were on the special scout team. So
Right, I was the 5th, 6th stringer out there, boy.
So you were like a punching bag.
Right.
How often does somebody go from the special scout team to a starter? Is it rare? I mean, does it happen a lot? I mean, you know what I mean?
I would say it's pretty rare, yes.
Okay.
It doesn't matter like where you're at. It's like if there's eyes on it, like that's what matters. And so I would just go into this zone. It's like everything depends on this one play, and I have to get this done. And that's literally over the past 3 years. That's what it's been. Me slowly transitioning from special teams to just mainly offense, and finally being one of those guys that doesn't play special teams anymore.
Is that something that you feel like you've always had, that grit and that intensity and that unwillingness to give up?
I don't think I've always had it, but I think it stems from my background and how I was just raised as far as how to look at working. Being on the ranch and doing the stuff that I didn't want to do actually ended up helping me more because I literally just put my head down, shut up, and push through it. It's the mindset. It's like, okay, if I can work hard in this, that's going to carry you with anything that you get involved in. That's just what's helped me get through my situation, hit all these milestones, and keep building.
35, 20, 10, touchdown, Austin Ekeler. Wow, what a play that was.
You didn't get the invite to the NFL Combine, and they didn't have a pro day at your school, but you crashed another school's pro day?
That's right.
It's badass, dude. I love it.
I couldn't even have a pro day at my school because it's at such a high elevation. It's in the mountains in Colorado. There's too much snow. Like I needed to go train somewhere where there was not snow on the field where I could actually get training. After that, I killed the pro day.
After your first season with the Chargers, you went back to college.
After my senior year, my coach approached me. Like, I think you have a chance to go play in the league. Like, if you're wanting to sit out a semester and go train for it, I'll give you your scholarship if you want to come back after that year. So I was like, absolutely, school can wait. And I just went and trained for like 3 months for my pro day, you know, ended up making the team and then came back to finish. And I just think my education is very important. I loved my career that I was going in, energy management.
It's like, hold on. Play in the NFL or energy management, dude. I don't think there's very many people who are going to be like, yeah, I want to go play with solar panels instead. They call you the strongest man on the team. How'd you get that rep?
I've been lifting strong for like 10 years straight. You know, so like after the season, a lot of people take a break. And I say like, I don't take a break from working out. I just take a break from getting hit.
Do you think now that your contract has changed, your role in the team has changed, do you feel like there's more pressure?
You know, I always prepared like I was starting. So now I actually am starting, so I was already ready. I'm like, okay, let's do this. The pressure that the team's put on me, that's like, yeah, that's great, but I'm doing this for me as well.
The outside pressure that is being put on me is nothing compared to the pressure that I put on myself.
100%. If you have high expectations for yourself, then you're probably gonna exceed what other people had for you. And if you're doing that, that's how you keep leveling up and keep, you know, raising your own bar.
You've been referred to as the underdog, but I'd say you're not the underdog, you were just overlooked.
I was talking to my agent today, it's like, I'm not doing anything different than I have been. It's just now people know who I am. There's like more of a spotlight on me. It's like the only thing that's changed is the media coverage on my name. That's my bobblehead. You see that right there?
You play guitar too?
I don't play guitar. That's my celebration though. I'm hitting the air guitar every time, man.
It's obviously going to be different. What are your thoughts for this upcoming season? Are you nervous at all? Are you apprehensive? Are you excited?
I'm all of that.
Yeah.
I'm literally all of the emotions at one time. I feel like I am so excited to see our team this year just because there's a lot of new faces in the building. Tyrod and then Herbert coming in as well, our first round pick. Justin Jackson, he's one of the running backs in my room. So I'm excited just to get out and play with the guys, just hyping up my boys next to me. Let's go play some football. Let's try to win some games.
Everything you're doing, man, keep doing it. Get back those meetings, and yeah, good luck this season. Football is anyone's game where anything can happen on any given Sunday. So when two analysts, an NFL legend, and a banana get together to talk about this unpredictable season, well, that's almost as exciting as the game itself. The majority of the Zoom interviews I've done before this have been in like a tank top and a beanie. And then my producer told me today, she's like, listen, you're gonna have to dress it up a little bit. I literally just pulled this out of the closet.
Well, I don't even have socks on.
I don't have pants on.
I got flip-flops on.
I think we can all agree that this is probably going to go down as the most unique season in NFL history.
This season is a different bit of uncertainty because we're talking about health. You know, we talk about having asterisks beside records and stuff like this. The asterisk this year is going to be the pandemic.
From a purely objective, non-health strategy standpoint, I find this year to be more compelling than many before in a weird way. All 32 teams have the same disadvantage. Who's going to make that an advantage? Who's going to be the most disciplined, especially early in the season when it'll really matter?
I'm very weary of how long they'll be able to play. That's where my caution and apprehension comes into play. So it's just a matter of how long they can make this work outside of a bubble. I think the bubble is the key.
After 16 incredible years, had you not retired this season, would you have played?
Oh, that's a great question. And I'm glad it's one that I didn't have to approach with my wife because she already looked at me and said, I'm glad we don't have to have this discussion because you want to be playing. There's a lot of confusion when it comes down to what exactly is the risk. And I think you've seen a lot of players err on the side of safety.
Do you feel like the NFL is doing enough to protect the players, to protect the coaches, to protect the refs?
When it comes to the games, we'll see, because we're talking about 80, 90 people per sideline. But up to this point, I have to say absolutely.
So I was referred to as the Tom Brady of the challenge, but now that I have 7 championships and he only has 6, they're now referring to Tom Brady as the Johnny Bananas of the NFL.
I got to write that down.
I learned something new. Learn something new every day.
What are your thoughts on Brady's move to the Buccaneers? Man, you should have just ended it on top, or keep pushing the envelope at 43.
I mean, the guy, he can still play football. His physical skills are not declining the way you may think someone 43 years old should be declining. And he would probably argue that because he had to learn a new playbook, he got some new neuron connections that he didn't have before. And so that gave him a little more energy.
It's going to be phenomenally fascinating to begin to see an answer of, was it all Bill or was it more Bill than Tom versus the other? That said, Tom is going to Bruce Arians, who is a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year. He's got Ronald Jones Jr., a great young running back. He's got 2 stud tight ends in O.J. Howard and Gronk. I love Tom Brady, and I cannot wait to see what he does in Tampa Bay with those weapons.
I love Tom Brady, and I'm excited to see Tampa Bay, but I have to rain on the parade a little bit because you guys are just hype squad 5,000. We can't. Also, this isn't the AFC East we're talking about, gentlemen. This is not the hapless Jets. This is not the Buffalo Bills who have nothing going on. This is New Orleans. Do you think any team has a bigger advantage in the National Football League this year than Drew Brees?
So wait. When's the last time New Orleans won a Super Bowl? When's the last time?
That doesn't matter.
It's the Bay versus the Bayou. That's what it is for me.
Switching sides here. So we just talked about the Buccaneers. On the Patriots side, what kind of chemistry do you predict between Cam Newton and Julian Edelman?
Chemistry is built by repetition. Unfortunately for them, they haven't had very much repetition. And so I'm not expecting for them to jump out of the gate like I would expect Drew Brees and his receivers who have been together for several years.
There's never been more pressure on a quarterback than Cam Newton, given the fact that 8 of those players opted out. He's filling in the shoes of the greatest of all time. He's a figure that's larger than life.
I don't know. Because of all the injuries, do you think Cam has the same amount of pressure as if he was coming off another great season, in which case he probably wouldn't have been let go by Carolina?
Cam, where he is now in his career, been an MVP, understands who he is, and yes, has a chip on his shoulder and wants to prove some things. He's not feeling like he has to be anybody.
So what you're essentially saying then is Cam Newton coming into the Patriots is under less pressure than one of Tom Brady's footballs.
I didn't say that. You did, and that was a really, really funny joke. I'm going to go ahead and laugh.
A lot of hot button topics this season. Colin Kaepernick, BLM, Redskins name change, obviously COVID. If you had to give the NFL season a single tagline, what would it be? Kay, I'm going to go to you first.
In a league full of superstars and touchdown dances, it's the coaches that take center stage. I think
Wow.
the world revolves around them. That's my 2020 tagline.
Print that. What about you, Siafa?
The NFL 2020, here till we're not.
Ben, you got one?
I'm going to call it the coronation. The coronation. Crowning a champion during a global pandemic. And the play is on, if you didn't see it, the play is on Corona.
Boldest prediction for the 2020 season.
Boldest prediction is that KC does not repeat.
Ooh.
To me, I don't know how they're going to deal with success.
The last team to repeat was the team you played for your rookie year.
Exactly.
That was the last team to repeat, 2003-2004 Patriots. They beat the Eagles in 2004.
Oh.
We got revenge, so it's all good.
Yeah, but give us an Eagles prediction. Give us some good vibes out there for your squad.
That was my prediction. Carson Wentz becomes a top 5 quarterback in the NFL again. He's got some speed on his team this year. He's fully healthy. He added some weight for the wear and tear of a full season. Carson Wentz becomes a top 5 quarterback again in 2020.
Siafa, I just met you today. I really like your energy, so I'll double down with you on the Eagles, shall I?
Yes,
sure,
please.
I'll do it. I'll say Miles Sanders is the number one thing that he was incredible last season when finally given the opportunity when he left the timeshare that he had with Jordan Howard. I believe he wants to best his buddy from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. I think he does it.
It's going to be a interesting NFL season, to say the least. And let's just hope that we get this pandemic under control and that everybody out there that's just been like yearning for sports and the NFL gets their fix.
Stay safe, everybody. Nice to meet you guys.
All right.
Football's here, guys.
On the field, NFL players are expected to take devastating hits and get back in the game. But when life blindsided Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver Marquise Goodwin with some agonizing pain, he had no other choice but to call a timeout.
All right, y'all. This right here, this is my reason, y'all. She is the reason I'm opting out for this season.
Our baby girl, Murray, she is 5 months and
Say
growing
hi,
like a weed.
Yes, she is.
Our journey of parenthood was very tough. It was a long road.
We had to do an emergency cerclage, which didn't hold, and then, needless to say, we ended up losing the baby. I felt like I had to prove to my coaches and new team that I was dedicated to winning, and I wouldn't let anything keep me from that goal, not even my family.
And Goodwin is gone!
He ended up scoring his first touchdown of the season. The team won their first game.
I had to make a decision, and I ended up flying back. Again, we held the babies, took pictures, videos, like, dang, they look like me. They got my features, they got my fingernails. They survived for about an hour before their hearts just stopped.
Hey, you coming out today? You coming out today?
We finally were blessed to bring home our first living child, our rainbow baby.
It's a girl.
We went through a storm. Just being fortunate enough to bring her home, it was like that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You know, she's our pot of gold, and she's our rainbow.
Daddy love you, baby.
She gonna be putting makeup on him. He gonna be playing dress up with her. He's that type of father where he's gonna give her the world.
You know, I want to be the best father figure and father the world has seen, because I want to be everything that I didn't have.
It wasn't surprising because of what we've been through. So I knew if he did get that option to opt out, he was gonna take that option.
Starting with a new franchise this offseason from San Francisco to Philadelphia Eagles. You know, my coach tested positive for the virus. Read that, and I'm like, dang, because he would have been the first person's hand that I shook, probably gave a hug to. It makes me even more grateful that I chose to stay home.
What you looking at?
If I played this year, leaving my family at home without having them there with me, I would not be worth a damn on the field. Probably wouldn't even be able to catch a cold, naked, wet in December in Philly. I love football, I love track, but I love my family way more than both of those put together. A lot of people don't even know. See, this is crazy. A lot of people don't know that I only got my opportunity to play football because I was offered a full ride track and field scholarship to the University of Texas at Austin, and walked on the football team and earned a football scholarship within 3 days.
This is Marquise Goodwin. He's twice NCAA champion and winner of the Olympic trials.
Ended up going to the Olympics 2012. And that's the best sporting experience I've ever had in my life. Like, I started trying new food. I started dressing different. I started to try to develop an accent because I was around so many accents. Like, it sparked my mind. That opening ceremony, I became a new person.
Goodwin for the touchdown.
Following that, in 2013, I ended up getting drafted by the Buffalo Bills, 78th pick overall. Here I am, this track dude who wasn't even supposed to be playing football. I'm getting drafted. That was a huge blessing on my life. You know, it just gave me so many other opportunities that I could help my family. I look forward to the season though. I definitely will be watching, and I'll be supporting, especially my Eagles. You see I got my hat on right now. It's gonna be crazy watching it on the tube.
It's not for everybody to understand.
Say what's up to the camera.
Our journey is not everybody else's journey, and you ultimately have to be proud of what the decision that you make and not let other people affect your decision.
Faith, number one, then my family, then football. In that order. Won't change for nobody.
A stadium without fans is like an empty pint of your favorite beer. Something's missing. And as the NFL experiments with virtual fans in the stands and DJs playing bogus cheers for touchdowns, the diehard fans, like my buddy George Oliphant, are standing their ground and doing what they do best.
5 years ago, I came to one of the craziest tailgates I have ever experienced, right here at the Hammer Lot for a Buffalo Bills game.
We've been doing this for, what, 30 plus years at least.
I can taste even better coming out of an Army helmet. It was the most insane, most fun I have ever had at a tailgate. You name it, it was going on. And now,
I want to keep this interview very clean.
very clean.
2020 marks 35 years of Eric and his Hammerlot bringing Buffalo Bills fans together for one of the most successful tailgate scenes in not just Western New York, but the entire country.
This is my second time coming to the Hammer Lot.
Yeah, that's true.
The first time I came 5 years ago, much different scene.
It was a great time.
Things have changed dramatically. Our
Yes.
world is different right now.
Yes, they have.
We're wearing masks. We're dealing with COVID. How is that going to affect you and the Hammer Lot and everything that goes on in here?
I have to say, I take this very serious. Today, we did the spacing. We have the equipment.
Yep.
I have no problem kicking people off my lot if they don't abide by my rules. But yet also, people want to be around other people. We want to keep it light and happy and all that stuff, but at the same time, we have to be responsible.
Do you see a silver line? Do you see any sort of positivity that's coming down the pike?
The Bills going all the way.
I noticed that nothing actually is being cooked on a grill itself.
No, I go to hardware stores. We get shovels, army helmets, saws.
Now I know that normally you bring the Pinto. That's why you have the nickname Pinto Ron.
I call this Pinto Light.
Pinto Light.
Yeah, the Pinto's going to stay parked in 2020. It'll be back in 2021.
How is the Bills Mafia? How are you guys tailgating this year?
You know, the diehards are going to be out here tailgating, and you know, we're just every other car space. We'll still be, you know, seeing all the friends we normally see.
That's what I love about football, but especially like tailgating, is the camaraderie.
Let's go Buffalo!
I've been a fan my entire life, 40-some years.
I've been coming to games for about 46 years.
And I realized when you stay in Buffalo for the rest of your life, what you do is you root for the Bills.
We welcome all fans except for those guys for the Patriots.
You guys sleep in the Airstream when you're here for the tailgate.
Yeah. This is a little bit of an abridged version because of COVID time.
The new normal.
We're gonna get through it. Go Bills.
Season tickets since 1992, and I've only missed 3 games since then.
I recognize you. When I walked in, I'm like, I've watched some Bills games. The last time I came to the Hammer Lot, we were drinking shots out of a bowling ball or blowing the horn. It's a little bit different now, but yet, why is it so important to make sure that we still all come together to cheer on the Bills?
How long do you go without seeing your family in real life? We gather here on Sundays because this is our hallowed ground. This is the home of the Bills Mafia. That's what we bleed, that's in our heart, that's our passion, and that's why we do it.
Why is this a game that is COVID tailgate friendly?
You're staying your distance that you need to stay. Everybody's wearing masks.
It's 12, 15 feet apart.
People have been bringing sanitizer, especially the spray kind.
I got some. Do you need some? Yeah. You're set,
I got the face shield, everything. I'm covered. I'm COVID free.
Any games you guys are playing?
Drinking soda pops.
What is the name of this game?
This is called on top ball toss.
QB 54?
The ball on top at the end of the round wins the round.
All right, are you ready? Let's throw some of these Buffalo Bill
see how
bags
we are.
at our Buffalo Bills boards.
Let's go.
Nice shot. Take it home.
Oh! Oh, there we are. I guess I'm supposed to put it in the basket, right? Good game. Anyone want some spray? I'll clean your hands for you. You know, I mean, come on, we're all been sharing the same balls.
Soon after this filming, local government officials decided against tailgating of any kind as long as there are no fans allowed in the Bills Stadium. The Bills Mafia will be there in spirit.
The 2020 NFL season, without a doubt, will be the most unique season of the century, and I cannot wait to tune in for all the action.
Get your football fix every Sunday night right here on NBC. See you next week.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. For more, subscribe to First Look and come with me on all my adventures around the world. Who am I kidding? I'm probably sitting at home watching Netflix or playing Xbox. Either way, what are you waiting for? Just hit subscribe already.